All right, it's time to start the bachelor pad for our chickens. That means it's time to do some rooster wrangling today. This should be fun. Ever since we've owned chickens, we've always had at least one rooster for our flock, and it's something that was important to us. We knew a rooster was good for protection, plus we wanted to be able to have that ability to be able to hatch out our own eggs. So you need a rooster in order to do that. And for about the last 4 to 5 months, we've only had one exclusive rooster to this flock, and his name is Caesar. And although when we brought him on here, it started off good, he's kind of turned aggressive on us, and it's time for a change. So all these chickens actually that you see going into this hut here are chickens that we just hatched out ourselves about a few months ago, maybe like 3 months ago now. And out of those chickens, when we first looked, we thought we only had about 4 roosters out of the 10, so we thought we had 6 hens, 4 roosters. And after some further research, which this is one of them here, we realized we might have 6 roosters and only 4 hens out of that bunch. So today we need to turn this hoop coop into a bachelor pad. So that means we gotta get basically every single rooster in here. So this might be entertaining for you guys to watch. We're gonna start with Caesar because he's the oldest and will be the hardest. One rooster down, we got the hardest one, Mr. Caesar. Now we need to go get 5 more roosters to add in here. What fun it is rooster wrangling. All right, we got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 roosters in there. At least one more I want to grab. And with less roosters, I think I can get it now. They've been trying to stay as a flock and kind of help each other out, which I understand. All right, I am sweating and there is a storm coming, who we like to call Big Buck Jr. because it looks just like Big Buck, who is actually a female, but we thought a rooster, but I won't get into that. It is pretty darn fast, and trying to catch it on camera at the same time, not gonna happen, and I don't really care to keep chasing. We do wanna keep our one rooster right here, who's the one standing in front of the flock. We think it's our olive egger rooster, so we would love if that's our main rooster now for our flock, instead of all these other roosters. The 4 of these roosters inside here will just have to get used to each other on the bachelor pad for a little bit. I'm gonna come give them some food and some water because we're not gonna mistreat them or anything. We just want them to be separate because we wanna be able to try to befriend our one rooster right now. Egg production is booming today. 3 hens at the same time. I know that I mentioned to you guys that we want to keep this olive egger rooster here as our main rooster for our flock. So one of the goals of putting them all in this bachelor pad in here and getting all the roosters in one spot like that is so that we can spend some time and have this rooster get adjusted to us, so that it's not afraid of us and that it doesn't feel like we're an enemy, so that we can have hopefully a semi-nice rooster for the flock. The other main reason for getting our roosters in there is you guys may have heard that a lot of roosters for a flock is not a good recipe. Usually you want about 1 rooster for every like 8 to 9 hens. And then you don't really want to push those limits too much. 1 to 2 things will happen. 1, they get really aggressive towards each other, and you don't want any of the major pecking stuff going on between your flocks. And 2, if you have a lot of roosters to not that many hens, that's a lot of mating going on for the hens, and it's actually going to end up hurting the hens because it'll be too much mating to have about 5 roosters mating on 10 hens. And now I know what some of you guys are thinking. You're thinking, aren't all the roosters in there just going to be pecking at each other and major fights going on? If you eliminate the hens from the mix, roosters aren't going to be that much more aggressive towards each other because they're not fighting for the hens or anything like that. So there's a chance that this goes really well in here, but I'm keeping an open mind that it might not. And then after that, we'd have to figure out what's the end game for all these roosters. Our first plan would for them to join our flock right here, which is our meat birds, our red rangers. And I don't mean physically join them, like put them in the chicken tractor, because that might be a whole big wild mess going on. But what I mean by that is that, close your ears if you don't want to hear it. This is one of the first things to do with extra roosters, because like I said, there's physically, you just can't have that many roosters, the hens, is that we would add them to processing days. So in a few months when we go to process these chickens here, we would take those roosters and they would just be a part of processing day. Hey, no breaking out. Let's go. And then really the only other solution to do for these roosters that we have in here, other than just keep them and feed them, but we really don't want that. So what we can do for them, and what I already started doing, is I gave them a nice little photo shoot where I took a picture of all the chickens, making sure they looked nice and got the right perfect angles for each one of them. And we'll post these on our local Facebook, any kind of Facebook pages around the area here, and see if anybody wants to add a rooster to their flock. So we might be able to get rid of them, but we'll see. And Caesar, our big boy, I'd feel bad to give to somebody. Maybe in a new situation he'd do better. But here's our new guy. Here's the one we want to keep. So right now that's the plan with the roosters, and we'll have to see how it all goes. Last night I came out to kind of check on the roosters and see how they were roosting, and they seemed to be roosting on the little piece of wood that I put in there, so that's good. I wanted to make sure that they were going to do that. But today I think we're going to move them from this rooster coop, and we're gonna make a quick one because Caesar is kind of losing his mind. I feel like since he's been used to kind of being like the leader of the flock here, he goes back and forth non-stop, and I feel like he just kind of needs to get away from the hens. So we're gonna make a little small rooster tractor coop so that we can have them on the grass, because right now that hoop coop has no grass inside it. And then we can kind of just move them along grass, just like what we do with our meat birds for our red rangers. So it's time to get building. Let's build ourselves a coop here really quick. Alright, so I have everything complete. It's all wired up. It's kind of hard to see, but if I get closer you can see there is a wire here. It has the tarp so they can get some shade during the sun, and it's really not that much smaller than the hoop coop back there. It's smaller in height, but it's not really smaller in like the amount of area they're gonna have. It's gonna be nice to get them onto some grass. I don't have a door. This is all just cloth wiring. I think I'm just gonna cut a square, place it up to that hoop coop, and I hope that they just go right into this, and then I'll just fold that piece up and probably zip tie it for now until I figure it out. So fingers crossed that this works. My hope is that I have a little hole in each one. They just seamlessly walk into the new rooster coop, but sometimes things don't always go according to plan, and I really hope I don't backtrack on the rooster hunting here. All right, all 4 of them are in there. Now it's time to see if I can at least move it out of the chicken run. I got them to the back of our property where we do our chicken tractor with our Red Rangers right here, which is a success. I didn't think that we were gonna be able to do this. They're having a hard time adjusting right now. Like I said, it is a whole new enclosure. They feel probably really trapped. I'm gonna give it a few days to see if this will kind of improve anything, and then I probably am gonna try to extend them some kind of run and just give them more room. But this is something I just wanted to whip up for now because it just didn't look like Caesar should be able to be around the flock because he was having a hard time about it. So we'll come out at nighttime and see if they are roosting and if they are doing okay. It is gonna be a hard adjustment, I think, for them.